In this video we are going to cover 5 topics like problems that is going to enhance your skill, and at least we are going to cover 5 problems in all video in this playlist. Maximum has no limit. So now let's get started. So if you see the first problem, it is like going to be the from operators, associativity and precedence. The second problem is from variables, like how much you know about variables. The third problem is going to be from some interesting tricky one, and if you guys are able to solve this third one, then I really appreciate that you are good in core Java basic. Fourth problem is going to be from all block statement. What we are going to do, we will see. And the last problem is that again the block statement. Now moving to our Eclipse, and now the first question was for operator, precedence and associativity. So guess the output of this question. सोचिए क्या हो सकता है. If you think there is going to be board mass rule for this, let's say if we are going to trigger for board mass, then what will be the output, right? So as per board mass, division is going to happen first. 3 divided by 2, it is going to be 1, then 2 into 1, 2. So output should be 2 for this as per board mass, right? Okay, let's see what is the output. If you see, the output is going to be 3. Surprised? Don't worry. See, we have studied like there is no such concept called board mass in programming world. Every programming have its own logic, the way they used to execute. How it is decided? It is decided based upon the precedence. Precedence is like something what board mass, but in this case star and division both are having equal precedence. So what you can do, then there is second term called associativity. When every character symbol is going to have same precedence, in that case associativity decides, means the order of executions decide how it will be executed. When everything is going to be same, then the order of execution is going to be left to right. So if you want to see, then I have searched in Google, and you can see like precedence of star and division are going to be same, so the order of execution is going to be left to right. So in this case, like left to right, 2 into 3, 6, 6 divided by 2, hence 3. So 3 is the output. If you see the next statement, in this statement you can see like the parenthesis is first, so the parenthesis is going to be executed first. So 3 divided by 2 is going to be 1, 2 into 1, 2. So hence the second output is 2. Now let's move to the second question. Second question is about this number. So you might be saying like, hey, it is working fine, and yeah, if you are going to print, then the output will be 10, right? So yeah, you are correct, but what if we remove this one, then what is the case now? So you might be getting hints, some like IDs showing some red, but why? What's the reason? The only reason is that this num is like local variable, and whenever we have local variable, it should be initialized before the use. We can't use just after declaration. That's the reason. So we will be getting error, and that error is going to be this local variable may not have been initialized. So this was the actual reason. But in case if we are going to initialize, like we are going to provide 10, then yeah, output is going to be 10. So this was like pretty simple, right? But don't worry, now next one is very tricky one. So now you see this question. So most of the person right now may have confused like, hey, what you are showing? We have studied like data types. When we are storing some value in respective data types, then it should be like its own like range of value what we can store, right? This is int and this is character. How can we store character in integer? We should be using either character type, right? But not. So this is like twist here. If we are going to do, then output is going to be definitely something. And what is the output? 97, right? So how it is so? So like this is the concept of typecasting. What happens like when we store some different type of value to different data type, then internally some typecasting is going to happen if possible, not always, else we need to do manually, right? So if we go inside typecasting logic, so what happened right now, the character is going to be casted into integer automatically. But now here is a catch. You might be saying, like, let's say if 5 is some character, then I could believe, yeah, 5 can be converted into int. I mean, let me show you like this. If 5 is something like this, if we would be writing something a equal to 5 like this, and this is something integer, then in this case you would be able to digest, like, yeah, it can be possible, like internally this 5 can be converted into a, like can be stored into a as an integer type as 5. But how we are going to store a? It's like character, it's not possible. No, it's possible. The reason is that whenever we try to store any character to integer, listen carefully, whenever we try to store any character to integer, its ASCII code is, its ASCII value is going to be stored. What I mean, so let's say when I am storing character as a, then its ASCII value is 97, right? This is ASCII value of character a. This number is ASCII, and if you see, the value of a in terms of ASCII is 97. So hence we are getting 97 as the output, right? This is like one of the most tricky question. I was also confused for the first time, but yeah, it's a good question. So now you think for this scenario, what will happen? So you might be thinking, like, what will happen now? Concatenation, what? No, nothing. Like, again, this ASCII value is 97. This ASCII value is going to be 98. Just after a, b comes, that's why. So 97 plus 98, what could be the output? 195, I believe so. So output is going to be 195. That's correct. So this was the most important question, and if you guys really able to solve this problem, then definitely you are big appreciated. So now let's move to the fourth question, and the fourth question, what you can see right now is that what is going to be the output for this. Let's make it little more simpler and first try to solve this one. And in this question, now guess what is the output. So initially a is going to be 4, and 4 more than its condition is false. If condition is false, then it is going to be out of the if condition and nothing is going to be printed. So no output should be there, the program should terminate successfully. That's fine. But now if we make it 5, then again the condition is satisfied, and condition is satisfied, so statement 1 executed, statement 2 executed. That is also correct. So are you joking, man? No. Now let's see. So now if you try to solve, so what is going to be the output? Let's make it 4, else you will be getting same output. Now think what is going to be the output. You will be saying like, hey, 4 more than equal to 5, the condition is false, so outside the if condition, and again no output, right? Let's check. So if we run and we can find what is the output, statement 2 executed. So how it is going to be possible? Like how? Like earlier some might be thinking that this could give compilation error, right? Why compilation error? Because we have never seen if condition without block. No, this is not the way. The way is that if you provide block, let's say in this case, if you provide block, that entire statement inside this block is going to be considered as the body of if condition. Not if condition, like any block condition. It can be for loop, while loop, any switch case, any condition. So this statement is going to be the part of body of this particular condition. So that's fine. In case if you are removing this, then what is going to happen? The next line to it means the condition next line, like after this line, this is going to be treated as the body of the if condition. That's it. And the remaining line next to it is going to be treated as separate statement. It has to do nothing with this if condition or any block conditional statement. It is going to be behave something like this. You can think of something like this. This is like different thing. So that's the reason we were getting output statement 2 executed, because this is separate, individual. It don't depend upon any of the if condition, because by default it is going to only pick for the next line. So now if we are going to make it as a 5, so yeah, in this case output will be statement 1 executed and statement 2 executed. when I say next line, so you don't get confused with this term. Like let's say if I do like this way, so now what is going to be the output? Now again make it as 4, so what is going to be output? So again statement 2 executed, right? But you might be saying like recently you mentioned next line is going to be the body of the if condition if we don't have block. When I say next line, it doesn't mean the visual line, the one which you are seeing. No, when I say line means this up to this semicolon. In visual form this can be like in single line, but when code runs, the code decide and it treats this line as a 2 different sentence, right? So when I say next line, so next line means only single sentence without. So in this case this is going to be treated as a separate sentence that is again independent of this if condition if we don't have block. So now let's move to the last question. Then the last question is that, so now the last question is that what is going to be the printed in this output? So it is like very much easy, like hey, what kind of joke you are doing? Yeah, it's going to be simply 5 times EYL code, nothing new, right? That's correct. Now just place 1 semicolon. Now think what is going to happen. So some might be saying that hey, this is going to give something called a compile time error because this for loop is not having any body like this. Let's see what is going to happen. So when we used to run, then again we are getting output only 1 time CYL code. Why this is so? So again same thing, when we place semicolon before any condition, any loop, then the meaning of that semicolon is that terminate those condition, those loop at instant, don't move further, and anything after this semicolon, as I mentioned you earlier, is going to be treated as a separate statement, not like part of the earlier one. So after semicolon it is going to be treated as separate statement. So this is something like this for loop is going to get triggered, and after this for loop is going to triggered, so what is going to be the output? This again EYL code. It has to do nothing with this for loop because this semicolon is going to terminate the for loop, and hence nothing is going to be changed. Ignore it. That's it. Same is applicable for if condition. In this case also, if we are going to check, let me again uncomment this one, and in this case let me do one thing, place semicolon. Same thing here also. If we do semicolon right now, so now this statement is not going to be the part of is if condition, like this is now not the body of this if condition. Again same thing, because when we put semicolon, everything gets terminated for that if condition, and the next one is going to be treated as separate one. So in this case let me say like 4 more than or equal to 5, the condition is false. Even though the condition is false, these two are going to be printed because these are now not dependent on this condition and these are independent. So hence statement 1 executed, statement 2 executed, and EYL code. So today we covered like 5 different topics, and hope you have enjoyed this problem skill series. So this was all for today. We will meet you next time. Goodbye.